Nobody else joining on voice or video? All right, fun times. That's why we're keeping the stream paused, kind of. Ooh, I gotcha. Okay. So, anybody that needs to get on voice or video, leave and come back. Cap, if you'd be so kind as to tweak the settings. I've been in a bit of a rush trying to get all this done. Um, yeah, today's been a busy one. Man, messages just flowing in tonight. All right, Elijah, you hopping on voice and what have you? We will start with you, sir. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what exactly are you getting performance-wise? getting around. What settings do you currently have on inside of Warzone, though? Good. I'm trying to get the audio sorted on this side so that everybody can actually hear. I'm trying to do this from my Mac, and it's proving to be a wee bit of a challenge. For some reason, it doesn't have access to all of my audio channels, which is a real fun thing. This is the downside to constantly switching locations in the house. It's on max settings. What resolution? All right. Wow, 1080p? That does seem rather low. Can you pull up the camera and show us the screen? Or if you're on that machine in Discord, you could just share the screen. Yo. No, take your time. We've got a couple of people that needed help tonight, and we're just kind of rolling through them. We'll get to you when you get ready. Somebody's got Wallpaper Engine running, don't they? We can see that, and the stream's got it full screen, so they should be able to see all of that. Craziness happened outside tonight. Well, let's start with some simple stuff like let's check the drivers on your uh, NVIDIA stuff. So right click and go to, wow, that doesn't work. No matter how many times I click your screen, that's not going to work. Right click and go to, I'm so used to being in a remote session where I can control stuff. Release date. All right, so you're fairly current with your drivers, so that's a good thing. Let's go ahead and start up the game and take a look. Wow, that window's way off size-wise. Live stream's going to be a little wonky. Hold on. There we go. Now everybody can see that full screen. All right, let's take a look at those settings. Frames are bouncing between, call it 100 and 180, give or take. Let's change that from full screen borderless. Full screen. Screen refresh rate, you've got set at 144. Render resolution, you've got set at 100. Now, we should be able to push this higher by lowering the render resolution down, but let's stick where it is for right now. Aspect, I say leave aspect ratio automatic. You've got VSync disabled, which is good. Keep going down. Frame rate is unlimited, so we're not being capped there. Keep going. And you've even got stuff disabled. All right, let's hop into a game. Let's see what this looks like. Anybody know what the frame rates for a 3080 on a, you've got a 5900X? I think that's what we sent you. All right. Anybody happen to know what those frame rates should be, or should I just wander over here and take a look? Yeah, let me pull that up real quick. From what I'm seeing here, just on the first couple of things, you're not too far off from what I'm seeing numbers-wise. You're getting more fluctuation. What I'm seeing, just bouncing through a couple of pages real quick, I'm seeing 180 to 190. Do me a favor. Well, Alt tab real quick. I'm real curious. Ooh, the bedroom gamer is calling. Go ahead and drop down to your taskbar, right click and go to Task Manager. Task Manager, third one up. Go to Performance and select Video Card. Yep. Go ahead back in the game. We're going to Alt Tab in and out of this. I'm just curious to see what the system is showing for your usage right now. Yeah, you're staying in the low 120s, 130s, it looks. Wow, you suck at this game. Maybe we should find somebody that's better at this game to get that video card to. Maybe it's not performing just simply because it doesn't feel like it needs to. It's not going to make a difference. It's like he's not going to play better if I perform well. Maybe that's the problem. Now, keep in mind, we're definitely going to take a bit of a hit because we're also using your machine to stream. You're not streaming out of a second box, correct? So let's keep that in mind. But it shouldn't be a tremendous hit. We should have some sort of idea. Now, while you're heading down, go ahead and Alt Tab, and your GPU is spiking. I did not catch that. You want to alt tab real quick again? Let's take a look at that. Do we have a RAM cap causing a problem? Ooh, your RAM is at 89% with us out of the thing. Your relative, does this game really take that much RAM at 1080p? All right, let's yeah, that's what I was about to hop out of the game. We're going to investigate that one real quick. No, no, stay in the game. Just hop back out or back to the alt tab. All right, let's take a look at memory. No, no, wow. So memory really is affected that much by this game. That's memory is usually not affected that much by a game. Mine never goes above like, I don't know, 9 or 10 gigs max. But then again, I don't really play Warzone that often. But hold on, look, this thing's pulling 6 gigs active without a game running. Um, Go ahead and alt tab back to Task Manager. You're running between 5 and 6 gigs of memory usage with absolutely nothing going on. We need to look at that. Go click memory. 5.4 available 10. So you've got 2 8s in there. All right, go ahead up to processes, upper left, and sort by memory. Well, you have a crap ton of Chrome going. You should definitely cut those off. Anti-malware, Blizzard. Yeah, but it's not really causing a problem right now. I mean, it's consuming 119 megs. Honestly, I was expecting to see Wallpaper Engine consuming something significant, but it's playing nice right now too. What else do we have? Performance test benchmark. Let's go ahead and kill that. Let's free up as much RAM as we can. Go ahead and right click that and end task. We'll right click both of those now and end task. All right, so we're down to 28% utilization. That's go back to performance real quick. I'd like to know what that equals out to. 4.4. That seems really, really high to me. Does that seem high to anybody else for a standing Windows not doing anything machine? Let's kill Wallpaper Engine too. As much as I love seeing the background animated, and Google Chrome, Google Chrome. Go ahead and end Google or Chrome too. You've got a bunch of those. Tabs will kill you. And you've got a bunch of Razor stuff running. Discord's taking a small chunk, but we can't do anything about that right now. You know what? Let's check one more thing. Go to startup. I'm curious what's running on in the background on this thing on boot up. You just installed Windows on this guy the other day, or earlier today, right? Elisha, you on mute? There you go. It's like being at work. Yep. All right, so on boot up, we've got what's translucent TB? Oh, that's that gotcha. That's taking away the color. Um, you don't have an Overwolf launcher. What's that? That's disabled. That's not a factor. Razor's booting up. Audio, Spotify, Steam, translucent update, USB. He's moving it. Dude, I have a 43-inch monitor. When you move, my head really does have to go every direction to see it. Got people messing with me now. Logitech Download Assistant, Microsoft OneDrive. What is GeoXLR app? Very top one. No, I can. I heard you say, "Can I? Can you hear me?" Okay. All right. Well, it doesn't look like there's anything that's booting up that shouldn't be booting up. Head back to processes. 25%. All right, go ahead and launch. Well, hop out of Warcraft if you're still on that, and hop into Warzone. I want to see what happens to this memory. If this thing eats up almost 75% of what you got left, that's 12 gigs for the game. And while you do that, I'm going to check and see how much Warzone usually takes. Wow, so 16 gigs is actually a spot where people see stuttering in this game. There's all sorts of things that can affect that because you could sit there and have a bottleneck on there where your RAM is page filing to your disk, which is in effect going to slow everything down. You're using NVMe, so it should be far less of a consequence. But I don't know, you're getting wild fluctuations there, and I'm not quite sure why. Bouncing between 115 to 180 just in this lobby here is kind of surprising. Hmm. That's an interesting thought as well. I don't remember the funny acronym that's in place for AMD, but the XMP for AMD may not have been enabled. And I don't believe you can do that from here. I think you've got to go and do a reboot to get to that. That said, 2133. Wow, that's low. You should be running at 3600. Or you're not. What RAM are you currently running in that thing? How old? Unless you got some really low end RAM, even 2 years ago, 3000 was a standard. Um, Okay, well, since we're on the topic of memory, when you put the memory in, did you put the memory in like this, or did you have a slot between, so it's a stick, a slot, and a stick? That's, I say, dual channel and speed might be a factor here. Yeah, you know, I've already had to say that to somebody tonight. Oddly enough, I think it was Elijah that I said it to. No, you don't have to have pants on. Just don't show us what's below the desk. Pretend like you're on the news. Let me switch cameras here. Ooh, that's no. He's running a X570 Strix. He should have 4 slots. Yeah, he just I don't know, something happened with the camera. Um, don't hold me to this, but I'm virtually certain he has an X570 Strix. And if that's the case, he absolutely has 4 because I have an X570 Strix. Nope, it's 4. No, it's definitely 4. It's just Elijah, turn the lights on in the room. Yeah, turn the lights on in the room. Yeah, change. All right, A2 and B2. Shouldn't he be using A1 and B1? Yeah, I think if I'm right, you should be using the two on the way he's got it set up with only 2. He should be, if I'm not mistaken, 1 slot over for each of them. Um, but on top of that, we really need to find out what your RAM speeds are. That's another factor that we should look at. So let's shut this down real quick. Since you've got your phone running a camera, we'll run off that for a minute. And let's pop that RAM out and let's see what speed that RAM is. That should only take you a minute. Shut the PC down first. Let's do this in order. Shut the PC down, then take out the RAM. Taking RAM out in the middle of a running PC is not something you should do unless you're using LN2. Hey, if you're using LN2, you can do it. It'll actually bring that stuff to a stop. You can pull it out for a couple of seconds, put it right back in. Machine will never know the difference. Don't yank it out. All right, so who else in here was looking for help? I know STFU was. I don't know if he's ready. Ooh, Blue's back in. And Vamper's here. And Tyson. Ooh, we got Orange Shirt. Uh, okay, okay. Okay, well, let's start with a quick thing real quick. Since we're finally getting to the BIOS flash, and this is the thing that we've been looking to talk about since people across the board seem to have questions about it. First off, you do have a running PC right now, not just your current PC that's currently parts. Okay, Alrighty. On the one you're on, what board did you have? Yeah. Okay. Does it support the BIOS flash on the back, the flashback, the little button BIOS flash on the back of the board? Okay. Okay. Not a problem. You said it was the Asus B550? Which one? Strix? Got it. Give me 1 second. I'm going to give you a link to exactly what you need. All right, I am sending you a link right now. Actually, you know what? I will put it in tech support chat. We'll make it so that everybody can see where we're going. And if you I didn't expect this one to be a big thing on YouTube. Not that any of our things are big things on YouTube. Um, and I mean, if you're watching in here, I can understand why you wouldn't be watching there. Um, it's not that big of a deal. I would just like to make sure that whatever we do tonight, we don't end up with a dumpster fire. We've had enough of that tonight, from what I understand. All right, where's Sarah? Good question. Usually she's right there, but I will grab my little digital thingy here. Yeah, we can hear you. Now, whenever she gets that, oh, she was quick. People want you on the stream. There was a poll, and it did say more Sarah. It was 100% confirmed more Sarah, for that matter. And apparently, that's as much as she's willing to give. She didn't do her hair and her makeup and all that stuff, so she doesn't want to be on camera. I think you should be on camera. They think you should be on camera.
Or I could just sit behind you and play Overwatch while you stream.
Technically, that's still being on camera.
Sure.
That does not violate the rules. Plus, watching you play video games is hilarious. They're saying hi. All right. So, where did we end up with that RAM? Should be on that little label, bunch of numbers. Okay, so you're definitely running on the slow side. Just you're and that's running at what? 2/3 the speed that it's supposed to at 2100. So you're definitely running on the slow side for RAM. When you boot up, yeah, not this machine. This machine's brand new as of like yesterday. So I think what you need to do is let's pop the RAM back in, but when you start up, let's go into BIOS and then use your phone and show us BIOS. Let's see if we can get that RAM sorted out for you. Mm-hmm. It's so funny watching me pop up from place to place to place. This screen is so damn big. I guess I can show you guys what this looks like since we got a minute. I've talked a lot about the PG43UQ. This thing is ginormous. And excuse my desk, it's a filthy mess right now because we have this screen. But that is not small. That's not small at all. To give you guys a reference, the screen right here, yeah, right there, that one, is a 27-inch sitting vertical. So that should give you an idea as to how tall that other one is. Such a big old screen. STFU, how are you doing on that case, sir? I have that same problem from time to time. I'm just saying, use more lube. That's all I'm saying. Although, to be fair, the PG43UQ, it's got these handles that are built into it, and when you try to pull the styrofoam out, if you don't pull the little cardboard handles back out, that monitor is not coming out. It took us about 3 or 4 minutes of futzing with it before we figured it out. Definitely should have done this from the PC instead of the Mac tonight. Yeah. Oh, I like STFU better. That's where I went to college. Yeah, best college ever. They teach you one thing: make people STFU. I saw that on a sweatshirt years ago. Big university STFU. I was like, wow, that's a great place to go. And people were like, really? Why is that? And I was like, ah, you should look up what STFU is. Okay. Um, so if you downloaded the BIOS, what you got to do is there's a renamer. First off, take the files, extract them out of the zip. It just makes things a little less wonky. Put them on your desktop, run the renamer. It will rename the longer file into a very short file name. Drag that file name onto a FAT32 formatted USB drive, and you're done. You're ready to move on to the next step. 16 gigs, just fine. Just make sure that it's FAT32. Yeah, you don't you don't need much. This is kilobytes. Oh no, I take that back. It's 20 megabytes. It's tiny. Yeah, it's in no, it's not in setups, it's in tech support. I'm not even watching what's going on the YouTube stream. Like not one thing. Show us your slots. I'm easily amused. Really? It's 5,000 ready, but it's not 5,000 ready. 5,000 ready means you can pop that in and it'll just boot up. To make it 5,000 compatible, you have to run that BIOS. And for the record, when you do this, once you plug the USB drive into your board, don't hit the standard power button. We're not going to use the standard power button. It'll mess you up. Extract it, put it, yeah, if I say just toss both files on your desktop, run the renamer, and it'll do everything. Well, it'll pop up a little window. It'll say, do you really want to do this? Just hit the button, and then it'll do what it's supposed to do. In the meantime, I'm going to find out where that 38-inch LG screen is that's supposed to be here today. Yes, do the BIOS rename, double click that. Black window should pop up, just tell it yes. Okay, look at that file, it should be renamed though. It should have a much, much shorter name. Amazon's got one. Ooh, Elijah's back. Do me a favor. Can you go in your camera? I want to see what your screen says, just because the name should be relatively short. Usually like C2348 or something weird like that, real short. Ooh, and Elijah's gotten back to the bios. All right, at this point, I would like to point out that Amazon lied. Amazon said that it would be out for delivery today by 9. It's 9. Amazon's late again. I have both up. Okay, let's switch over. Hold on, Elijah. Let's switch over to this stream. All right, you extracted both of those to your desktop, right? All right, let's put those on your desktop. Once they're on your desktop, double-click BIOS Renamer. And that ROG-Strix B55 long file name should change to something much shorter. There you go. That's what we're looking for. Drag that on your blank USB drive that is FAT32 formatted. And then once you have that, this one's done. And we're ready for you to plug that into a machine that has the motherboard, hopefully either sitting on a cardboard box or is mounted inside of your case. One of those two would be great. That's what I'm saying. Either mounted to inside of your case or on a cardboard box. Either is fine. Either is safe. I just don't want you. Cool. Yeah, you. From what I understand, you don't need the CPU in it. It just needs power, but it does need power in both your ATX. It needs your 24 pin, and it needs your 8/12 pin up at the top by the CPU. I don't know if your board requires 12 or not. If it only requires 8, put the 8. If it requires the 12, put the 12. In the meantime, Elijah, you out there? Yep. It needs to be FAT32. If you just right click it and go to properties, it'll tell you what the formatting is. It should be FAT32. It's not often that you wind up with an NTFS formatted flash drive. All right, Elijah, we've got you up now. Can you do me a favor and turn your phone sideways? Yeah, there we go. All right. Oh man, that is blurry. Anybody else able to read that? AI overclock tuner. Um, memory frequency. Let's. All right. First off, hit F7 because there's a real easy way to do this for enabling. See your DOCP. What is that set to? Disabled. That's what I thought. Let's enable that. No, if you right-click the USB drive. Yeah, no, sorry. Hold on. Two different people. Elijah, hit profile one. All right, that puts you at 3600. Let's 17, 18, 18. Okay, go ahead and save that, Elijah, and let's boot up on that, and let's see what that RAM looks like when you do. I believe it's F10 to save. Hey, it is F10. How about that? I spend too much time in ASUS BIOS. That's not a good thing. All right, so Vince, back to you, sir. If you right-click, okay, if you're inside of properties, what does it say in there? Okay, it's a wealth of information. Let's do this. Sorry, got to route this. Let's just be safe. Right-click that drive and go to Format. I can only see where your cursor's at right now. You've got a second screen, I'm assuming. So while we've got a second, while that's not up, I'm told that Newegg did a drop again tonight. Did anybody get anything good out of it? All right, let's go ahead and close that one. I saw that. You've been after that Dark Hero. Did it feel good spending $400 on a motherboard? I can see that. I see what you highlighted. Is that really what they're going for? Scalped? I cannot. You should probably stop trying to do window and then just do a display. Do the entire display that you're sharing. Elijah, I see you're back in BIOS. What are you up to over there? I definitely see Discord now. No, Discord's fine. Use this display. Use that display. Just drag it over. All right. Well, okay. I see devices. I see it now. All right. Close that. Bring up. Go to where I'm pointing. It's right there. Don't. I know it's funny. All right, go up to where it says Control Panel in the top left. The little arrow to the left of Control Panel. No, the next one in to the right. There's an arrow pointing that way. Yeah, click that. Go to this PC. Right click USB disk. Go to Properties. This is what we were looking for. File system, FAT32. Yep, we're good. Wow, using 256K. Double click that. Double click USB. All right, drag that file, the SP55, drag that on there. Wow, as big as this 43-inch screen is, like doing the hand motion, I feel like it's a little Minority Reporty. It's like I reached out towards it and I pulled it down and now it's in that folder. Dude, I realize how stupid that is, but when he dragged it right after I did that, I was like, whoa, that was cool. So you're good. Go ahead and pull that out, and you go ahead and start on getting that motherboard inside of your case. Meanwhile, we will switch back to Elijah. Okay, Elijah, we're back. Why are you back in BIOS, sir? Well, we need. There you go. I'll say, why are you back in BIOS? Well, the easy mode that you just did should set that to be the proper configuration for that RAM. You shouldn't need anything extra. It said system what? I thought he had a 750. I was pretty sure you had a 750. 750 should be plenty. Yeah, he's running just one NVMe. All right. So let's do a quick, easy way to fix whatever might be have or might have been fiddled with in here. Um, go pull back a little. Go to exit and load optimize defaults. Hit OK. Hit F7. Let's go ahead and re-enable the DOCP. And let's hit F10 and let's see what happens. I'm wondering if, since it's trying to use DOCP, if it's going to whine about those memory or those DIMMs being in the wrong slots. That could be interesting. You should have more than enough to do that by leaps and bounds. What screen is that? That looked like an ultra wide there. Oh, the Alienware. Is it the 34-inch? Well, isn't that interesting? And what's it doing on the screen? That's right where I was gonna head. That's brilliant. Um, Elijah, did you hear him? Um, Shut her all the way down, pull both sticks of memory out, and I would just like to have it be in the first and second from the CPU. But we're going to sit there and skip the second for right now. We're going to go single channel, one stick, and we're only going to put it in the slot closest to the CPU, which I believe is A1, I think. While you do that, I'm going to pull up the manual of this thing and verify. Oh crap, that's not going to help me. Does anybody know traditional Chinese? I downloaded the wrong manual. Let's see, where are those DIMMs? Fire incoming? Oh, I think my gigantic ass, sorry, let me rephrase that. My other gigantic ass screen is currently being delivered. So I may have to go to the door for a minute, but I will be right back. Okay, A1 and B1. All right, if you've got your socket here, if you go to the right of the socket, you're going to be at B1, B2, A1, A2. That's where we currently are. And I believe that this thing is going to want it in, uh, let's double check. Okay, for single channel, you want it all the way to the right. So when you're putting it in, Elijah, put it in the slot all the way to the right for single channel. I'll be right back, guys. Thank you. I got it. Okay. What's the model number of this thing? We just got the LG 38GL 950G-B. What was that? You kind of cut out. One stick of RAM all the way to the right of the CPU. All right, power back on. Whew. This room was crazy hot. Now it's crazy cold. Isn't that interesting? Because we didn't change the BIOS settings, so it should still be running exactly what we were running previously. See what that RAM's running at? Yeah, right there with you. I can now. Okay. Ooh, hardwood floor, Ryzen 9, metal. Ooh, denim. We see denim. Yeah, but I say, remember the rules. Keep it in your pants. Ooh, puppy. Sarah, there's a puppy on screen. And children. Interesting. So we're still stuck at 2100. Let's go back into the BIOS and take a. Why is that still at 2100? And why are you all of a sudden running a gig and a half less than you were before, as far as actual utilization? So let's head back to BIOS there. Yep. Uh-huh. Well, that's kind of why I wanted to head back to BIOS. I want to see what BIOS is because that's going to give us the best look. Trying to decipher what all the parts are. Ooh, there's a little truck up on the floor up above. But what are those metal things? What are the metal things with the wheels? All right, hold on. We're back with Elijah here. Frequency says blurry. It says blurry as hell. What are we seeing there? All right, so we're shooting for 3600. That's what it thinks we're supposed to be doing. And let's go back over to the right side and see what the individual configuration settings are. Not quite that far. Go a little bit left. Right there. That one. Everything's on auto. DDR3600. No, that looks right. I think we're good on that. Go ahead and toss in that other stick of RAM. Shut it down first. Back into the two or one slot over from what you've got. So it should be space RAM, space RAM. Let's get the second one back in there. Ah, not me. Go away from me. Go back there. So did everybody manage to catch the musical lighted bathroom video I put up? Um, one sec. Yeah, try that. Save. Try that. He was server muted. Why is he server muted? Same with Ty. And wow. Um, I disagree with you wholeheartedly, sir. You said little. He is a lot sus. Well, I've talked to him a lot. I would always, especially after he screwed me in that one game. I trusted his ass. Okay, things are looking up. DOCP still enabled. Yep. All right, let's boot that puppy up. So is everybody finally able to talk? Is Blue there? Is everybody around? Ooh, look at that. We've got people. Who won that 3060 tonight? You got booted out? Oh. All right, I wasn't watching the screen. Have we attempted to boot this thing up yet? What does that say? Oh, we've got a image. That means we should be booting up. We shouldn't have the failure we did the last time. So we did effectively nothing, if you're paying attention, other than pull the RAM out and put it back in to resolve that issue. Well, yes and no. There is a second school of thought here. It's entirely possible that what we did was have him reseat his RAM properly. We can't see any of that. We can see a white box in your fingers. Can anybody else see a damn thing there? You know what? Go back to sharing in the screen so that we can actually see that. Because it's a blurry mess. Okay, now we can see clearly. Show us that window again. Yep, we can hear you. Ooh, that's definitely, that's a little faster. Okay, so that's a thing. let's take a look and see if we get any type of performance bump inside of Call of Duty, or if we just troubleshooted an issue that didn't make a damn bit of difference. Hey, I look at it as he was leaving performance on the table either way. Things taking forever. Look at that FPS right now. Keep it up there. It's still staying higher. You're not getting nearly the drops you were. Look at you. You're staying in the 170s right there before you were dropping down into the one teens. And from what I was reading on here earlier, 170, 180 is about where this thing is supposed to be. Has anybody seen any contradicting information on that? Let's see. This guy puts up these for benchmarks. Yeah, it looks like this one was capping out at 216, but it was fluctuating between 163 and 216. And I can't see what his frame rate's at right now. 130, 140s, it looks like, yeah. On highest settings, at 1080, he was getting 140, and as he dropped down the spectrum, he could get up to 216, according to this. Just checking a number of different outlets here. What resolution did he have it set to? So you're playing at 1920 by 1080? Averaging 120 to 130 using very high settings on a 3080 at 1440. Everything I'm seeing here is showing that this is not underperforming. Well, not by much anyway. Now, if you set your render resolution lower, you could sit there and get more performance out of it, I would think. looks like it looks like you're floating between the mid ones to low twos there. There's nobody up there. Oh, there's a guy up there now. Shoot him. Shoot! I feel like my son watching freaking Twitch. All right, so you're staying mid to high ones right now. Um, if you sat there and pulled your render resolution further down, you'd go up higher. Anybody have any other ideas to get this up? I said if you pull your render resolution down a little bit more, you'll get even higher FPS, I would think. Pull it down to about 50. So you shouldn't see too much of a difference here. Alrighty. And it's still too blurry to be able to read. Looks like you're at 160, 180. Hmm. What were your benchmarks at before you got your 3080 and the 5900? What was? All right, let's hop out of the game. Let's go take a look at benchmarks real quick. Let's see where this machine sits. Let's see how this thing looks now that you're running proper RAM speeds. I would also take a look at downloading Cinebench too, as it's a much better CPU performance benchmark. And then you should also get 3D Mark and take a look at Port Royal. But 3D Mark is going to be through Steam. Okay, let's see where you come up at. I'm anxious to see if that RAM has helped at all. Vince, how you doing over there? Oh, gotcha. Cool. So you're still trucking along over there. You are, wow, you're in the 96th percentile. Now, what you're seeing here, that's the average. I'm wondering if the average is taking into consideration the higher than average overclocks that might be getting done on these. Yeah, that's not a big pool. Do me a favor, go grab Cinebench and give me 1 second. I'm going to oh, turn on mine and we can do a head-to-head comparison because we're running virtually the same hardware minus 100 or so gigs of RAM. Almost none. Like, I won't even lie. I'm not even saying I need that or that I would have ever bought that. Um, but having it fall in my lap, I'm damn sure going to use that. There's no way in hell I was letting that go back. But I say it's a silicon lottery. Have this stupid tripod sitting directly over the keyboard for my PC, so typing on it's a pain in the butt. Um, but I'm downloading Cinebench right now. Oh, that would be fantastic. Oh, now people start talking. Apparently, Cinnabon is the thing I need to start selling off or giving away. See? Hey, y'all want to come down here and get Cinnabon? I will happily take all y'all out to get Cinnabon. Absolutely. I'm not shipping that crap though. Well, you're gonna have to wait until they open up tomorrow at the mall because they're currently closed. I can't do it now, but tomorrow, I got you. All right, Elijah, did you by chance get a chance to download Cinebench? I can't see the screen because I'm getting ready to run that. And you're doing Cinebench R20, correct? Oh, you're doing R23. Gotcha. Well, we can certainly take up a collection and see if everybody here wants to donate enough to get you to fly out here and build your machine on live stream. I'm always game. Hey, I can certainly critique. I will critique the hell out of your builds. I will do it. You want to sit there and build it on live stream with me? I will critique the hell out of it. I will tell you to pick that cable back up and manage that bitch properly. That's not difficult. It's not like I have to do anything but be like, hey, don't do anything this day. If it was any other day but like tomorrow, because as it turns out, tomorrow she's baking cookies with her mother, which gives me a wonderful day to finish water cooling that guy. That's actually going to work out pretty well for me. Come on. This thing's almost done extracting, and then I will be able to benchmark against you. You can go ahead and run yours, Elijah. I'll only be about 10 seconds behind. Well, we can start with one and then do the other. But we'll see exactly how your 5900X compares to mine. We'll see which one of the 5900Xs that made it to this house are better. Hopefully mine. I'd be real upset if I sent you the wrong one. Well, I mean, it happens. Just think though, yours is beating a lot of other people's, which doesn't exist. I'm also really, whoa, which one are you currently running? Oh, okay. I was like, whoa, mine's going way faster. Apparently, I started with multi. I was like, yeah, yours is shit. Mine's almost done. Let's stop that. Let's start single. Let's see how that goes. Single is definitely a touch slower than multi. Multi's real fast. Well, yeah. It was just interesting to watch his go and then watch mine go, and I was like, wow. Yours is about one ring of boxes ahead of mine right now. So, since I've got a few people on here, tomorrow we're looking at doing the finishing up of the water cooling on that machine. We're going to do a 3070 and a 6800. Who out there is still looking for cards? I can't even see who that was. I'm guessing that was Blue. I say I had to take a guess because I'm watching the restream of this in a much smaller vertical screen, so I just took a guess. But if you're the only one, man, what are you looking for? I thought you said you were looking for a 6800 a little bit ago. Well, we do have a MSI 6800. That we have. And I went out and bought that Gigabyte 3070, which may end up biting me in the ass. And then I've got to get rid of that. Well, I guess I don't have to. I can always ship the 58X back to Amazon. Well, if it doesn't sell off on the stream, let me know. Because I think, as I said in the chat, I think this is going to be the last sell-off just because the cards are becoming plentiful and me buying them in the event that people still need them is getting fewer and far between. So unless it's like a 3080 where people are really struggling, which in this area, man, we have had some really, really good luck with 3080s lately. The whatever retail is, you know me, I don't ever overcharge. I think it, I what was it, it was 600 even because the guy didn't make me pay the extra $4.20. So it was 600 even, and it's the 3070 OC from Gigabyte. It's, hold on, where's it at? There it is. It's, it's this one. And yeah, after tax, see, a 3060 Ti Founders Edition makes me want it because I'm looking to do a streaming machine, and a 3060 Ti would be fantastic for just doing the streaming out to the web on that second box. Well, I may not, because I have a 3060 Ti here. It's just not Founders, and I don't know that it really matters, Founders versus not. It's just I kind of like the way the Founders looks, but I've also got. I think the 3060 Ti I have here is a tough, so I'm not exactly upset about it either. Um, my take on water blocking as a whole is do it if you want looks. It's not as effective as a cooler as it needs to be for most people to make it worth it. Versus air, air will get most people by just fine. If you're looking to get real performance, a custom water loop with a water block is a good option, but it is pricey. You really have to want that and need that performance to make it worth it. It's so much easier to justify water blocking and water cooling for looks nowadays than it is for actual performance, unless you're doing something extreme like chilled water or something like that. I mean, you'll get good performance out of it, but how many of you guys are actually overclocking the crap out of your stuff to eke out that last bit of performance nowadays? When in the case of the 30 series, they don't really overclock all that well in the first place. How much are you getting extra by water cooling it versus air cooling it? Have we got those benchmark numbers in yet? Because if so, I'd love to see them, but I haven't seen anything that makes water cooling a 3080 or anything worth doing, especially a tough, a 3060 tough. Hell no. Honestly, water cooling anything 3080 or less than a 3080 doesn't make sense to me. In for a penny, in for a pound. That's how I look at that. You've got, well, depending on how you do it, and don't use mine as a representative of what you should do for water cooling. Mine is disturbingly expensive. Um, distro blocks are gorgeous. They're not cheap. But you can get a average water cooling setup for CPU from Thermaltake for about 340 bucks. You can pay through the nose to Corsair and get it for, God, what was it, 540 bucks or something? Um, Corsair is just so overpriced. And it's not a great cooling set. If you didn't get to see my Bobo video, it's it's not impressive. Well, EK is good, and their price to performance isn't bad. It's definitely not as bad as Corsair's is. Um, okay, I finally got my numbers. What did you end up with? Oh crap! It just ran another one. Son of a bitch. Got another minute left. So yeah, it took me a minute to figure out what you're talking about. You're talking about an anti-static strap, right? Um, you can clip that right to. Honestly, most people clip it either to the case itself or to the power supply. Um, the reality is, and the world will flame me for saying it, but the reality is that motherboards are resilient enough nowadays that they can take a static shock um, from what you're going to do to it. I have yet to see somebody kill a motherboard with static shock in the last 8 or 9 years. Um, uh-huh. Oh yeah. Nope, I'm with you. Yeah, you could clip it onto any grounded surface. Man, that thing is still going, huh? No, it didn't. Yeah, it does multiple passes. That's going to take forever. If I were you, I'd just switch over to multi-core because that one's going to take forever to run. So, yeah, multi-core, you're going to sit there and see this thing zip through way faster. Lilu Dallas multipass? See, that one's a little quicker. And now I want to go frickin' watch that movie. Yeah, that was a good movie. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, mine's zipping right through. Pass to complete. All right, while you're doing that, right click your little orange bar there. And what are you getting for rendering? Right click. 19,800. 20,547. And what is your single core? You did not win the lottery. But that's okay, because Vince is going to come by in another 20, 30 minutes or so and whoop both our asses. What is your single core at? 1564. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take a small victory. I'm not going to complain about that. Do you by chance have Port Royal? We can put a Strix up against a. What did you put in there? I said, what do you have, or do you have Port Royal? Do you have 3D Mark in Steam? Man, I'm over here typing on the wrong freaking keyboard. Do you have 3D Mark on Steam? Also known as that. Because if you have 3D Mark, then you can run the Port Royal benchmark, which will show you what you can get as far as ray tracing. I mean, you got a 3080, you should see what you can do ray tracing wise. What you should do, well, A, download the demo, or B, watch watch when that thing goes on sale, because when it goes on sale, it goes on sale for like $5. Let me run over. I haven't even looked at what my Port Royal are is on my Strix, but let's. All right, what did you say yours was? Yep, and that was stock, or did you overclock? Okay. Well, I'm running mine right now, and we will see what happens. That score getting any better, or is it still in the 19s? Ooh. Probably could have done that with a 5600, man. You overspent. Could be worse. Could be running like an Intel Core i5. $9,900K. The 90, your 59 shit. Your 59X should beat your 9900 hands down. Um, I would. Well, here's the thing. You can always swap out that board and find out exactly what the difference you're getting is. I would bet money that your 9900K would get stumped by a decent amount compared to your 5900X. It's not going to be like a complete destruction scenario, but you're going to get more out of your 5900X. In fact, while we're doing that, if I can find the right mouse and the right keyboard, since we're doing a benchmark over there, let's take a quick look at 5900X versus 9900K. And a quick user benchmark will tell you that that is a terrible chart. The 5900K in single core performance wins. Multi-core performance wins handily. Power efficiency. Yeah, no, I mean, it's not misunderstood as to why, but he was considering switching back to a 9900K versus his 5900X. And I was just trying to dissuade him of that because it's not the greatest idea. Yeah, go to nanoreview.net and look up that 9900 versus the 5900, and you would probably decide to keep that 5900 in there, even if it's underperforming versus the one that I've got. And Cap, have you got yours in yet? Oh, no, yours is still floating out in the ether, isn't it? I could get that machine we built the other day that's got the 5900X in it. We could benchmark that one too. See which one of those, of that whole group ends up the best. But I don't feel like pulling it back out of its box. All right, this benchmark is nearly done. And what do we have here? Stock doing nothing but air cooling. $11,091. So what was that score that you managed to pull off on yours? For your Port Royal. No, somebody else had said they got they did a Port Royal benchmark with a 3080. Yeah, run 64-bit. There you go. And then once you get in there, you'll have to download Port Royal. One of the fun things you can do once you do the scan is it'll give you an idea of estimated game performance on your system in 3D Mark. Let me switch back over to the other screen though, so I can see this stuff big. No, go to benchmarks at the top and then scroll down, and the first row on your right, that ship, Port Royal. Really? Okay, fine. We can do TimeSpy. TimeSpy is just going to sit there and do your CPU though, or I think it's CPU and DirectX 12, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's what I thought. Uncheck or go to the top, click the big picture, uncheck demo to the right. Oh, it's gonna make you do the stupid demo too. All right, go ahead and run it. It'll do the demo beforehand, which is still not a terrible thing to watch. Yes, definitely close the Cinebench. I'm gonna skip the demo, so I'll get my benchmarks a little bit quicker. We'll have some interesting numbers to go off of here in a minute. I still think Time Spy is a really cool looking benchmark though. Well, I'm still looking at in the very tiny window right over there, right there on my screen. Um, and it looks like we're still aimed in one spot. Vince, you want to comment?
I have a question for you.
What's your question?
Are you playing Batman?
I am not playing Batman. This is a benchmark. This is Time Spy.
Cool.
People can see you, by the way.
So, do you know who the Batman Who Laughs is?
I know what the Batman Who Laughs is, but I have
You
not.
don't know his story?
I haven't read it yet. No.
I'm listening to it right now. I've listened to it like 8 times, but I'm listening to it again.
Okay.
I love his story. It's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't read that particular comic set yet.
You should.
I've downloaded it. I just haven't read it.
You should.
I will get to it.
Great. It's good.
Thank you, sir. That was my teenager, everybody. Okay. Hold on one second. Elijah, you can't mess with it when it runs the benchmark or it will fail. You've got to run that again. Yep, you've got to leave it completely alone. Go ahead, Vince. Sorry about that. All right, it looks like Elijah has made it to the demo side of things. And I'm just now coming out of mine. And so I can switch back over. I'm going to take a picture of this so that I can not have to have this up on my screen. There we go. Now let's switch back to the actual stream. Oh, I was just watching this. I can hear you. I can hear you. You have to click the microphone button before it'll show that. Turn your phone sideways though, because we're looking at a very uh, tilt your phone so that it goes landscape. Weird, yours isn't doing it. Are you using a Droid or an iPhone? Ah, that's probably why. Man, look at the cable management, guys. You can't see anything. Yeah, it's completely transparent, man. That is a sick build. I wish mine looked that clean. If he just slows his finger down a second, we can get some fingerprints off the screen. We can frame him for some stuff. No. Ooh, there we go. Now, oh, we went full screen there for a second. And it looks like Elijah is actually starting the benchmarking portion of his now. Now that he's past the demo. Yeah, but I say the BIOS update is really, it's mostly a nerves thing. It's really easy to do. You've already done the hardest part. Well, the second to hardest part. Well, my gaming rig has got a crap ton of space on it. I think I've got 5 or 6 terabytes of NVMe on it. And then the bench build that we're finishing the water cooling on tomorrow has, I think, like 3 terabytes of NVMe on it. And it has one SSD, like 2.5 inch SSD in the back of it. And it's only there so I can transfer crap off of it onto the NVMEs because I'll never actually put real drives in it. I don't think I'll ever go back to anything that's not NVMe unless it's in like NAS storage. There's just no point for it. Ooh, delivery. Thank you. I ran out of water and I wanted a cookie. We went to IKEA today. We bought IKEA cookies. I'm eating a Cafferip, whatever the hell that is. Swedish style cookie. Oh, wait. Let's get back to put it back up. What was the result? Well, I took a picture of my results. So let's look. Um. Ooh. Ouch. Um. Ooh. Um. But the worst part is, and let me. I'm at. All right. Let's start with the more interesting part of this. Your CPU is only behind me by about 500 points. However, your graphics score is way behind me. What 3080 are you using? And where did you get that card? Elijah, where did you get that card? X570 Strix, the exact same board that I'm running, with the exact same processor that I'm running, with close enough to the same video card, the FTW3 versus a Strix. Well, his CPU is behind me by a marginal amount, but his video card is behind me in a massive amount. I mean, his CPU score is 10,936, and mine is 11,475, which, silicon lottery there. It happens. His graphics score is 13,630, mine is 1799. The graphics score, that's what I'm saying. Where did you get your card from, Elijah? You might want to look at returning it and getting them to replace it with one that didn't suck. Yeah. So, Elijah, I don't know if you've got us on mute, but is it possible for you to replace? Yeah. It, um, what I was asking was, where did you get your 3080, and can you return it and get a new one? Oh, How much did you pay? Um, all right. So, hmm, I'm debating whether or not I want to say what I think I want to say. Um, what's the room's opinion on this statement? Do you like the guy that sold it to you on Discord? Yeah. No, hold on. Let me switch windows here. Well, if that big box store happens to be Micro Center, they check. Who boy do they check? Okay, we'll hop back to that conversation in a second. I can see what you're showing me, Vince. Yeah. Nope. You plug it into the one inside the box. Nope. I wish I could tell you, but no, you put it in the one in the box. You definitely put it in the one in the box. Draw inside the lines. Stay within the lines. The lines are your friend. No, and that's what I was telling you before. Do not apply power. Do everything that you just said. Stop before you apply power and check back in. All right, back to Elijah. Cool, go for it. All right, so Elijah. Yep. Um, the question at hand is, how much do you like that guy? The reason I ask is, you could do, and I don't want to say a chargeback, but you could do a return through PayPal, and you could file a grievance with PayPal saying that the video card does not perform. PayPal will side with you. You will get your money back. You will be a good human being and ship that card back to that guy, and then you can try again for a better performing one. And that way you don't lose any money. He doesn't lose the card, and he can sell it to some other unsuspecting soul that's not going to care about things like performance nearly as much as you do. Because that number is not good. That number is, um, that would be my recommendation. Um, Anybody in here have like a 3070 or a 3060? Can you do can you run Time Spy? I would love to know how the 3060 performs versus this because that's a pretty significant difference. And I think that's a critical thing that we weigh it against. What does a 3060 perform against versus that 13630? What's yours? What card? Yeah. I say you do that, and I'm actually hopping onto the machine that's over here right now, and I'm going to try to run Time Spy over here. Oh, Well, I mean, let's be realistic. All of us are running fairly modern video cards. The only person you stand a chance of beating right now is Elijah. That sucks so bad, man. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep beating you over the head with it. I don't. But man, that hurts. Man, but can you RMA it based on performance? I mean, realistically, all EVGA is going to say is we guarantee that it hits a certain amount of megahertz. Beyond that, we don't care. All right, I'm installing TimeSpy right now on the bench rig with the 3070 that's in it. Yep, go for it. Funny thing is I don't think I turned off G-Sync on the last run that I did, which would mean that the last run that I did got those numbers with G-Sync on it, and it still was really high. Uh-huh. All right, this one's going to be run on a RTX 3070 OC with a 9700K with 3600 megahertz RAM, 24 gigs of it. And only 24 because the air cooler on this damn thing's so big that I can't get the fourth stick in. as I realize my dumbass has been on mute for the last minute or two. What else are you, or what other FPSs are you guys seeing out there on your benchmarks? Ouch. Okay, Elijah, I don't know if you guys could see that, but to put it in perspective, your 3080 did 13,144 against my 3080's 17 plus. A 3070 just did 12,357. If it makes you feel any better, though, your CPU stomped my 9700K. You got 10,936 versus my 7295. If that gives you any indication of your, okay, 9900K is not dramatically improved over a 9700K. The graphics, however, ouch. Let me take a picture of this so I can put it on camera. You might want to unmute for this. All right, Elijah, you have 13,630 as your graphics score. Here's the graphics score of the 3070. You might want to unmute. We can't hear you. I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. So, what? 15,571? Yeah, it does. You have the one 3080 on the planet that got outperformed by a 3070 by a lot. So, I think we can go ahead and put your issue to bed and say that the reason that you're not getting the frame rates that you're supposed to or that you're looking for is because your video card sucks big donkey. Wow, that sucks, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. And I certainly hope that you managed to get that sorted out. And it really sucks that your watch has not ended after all. You've got to find another one. So, what I will say is this. If you want to send that one back, Elijah, I think I can commit to saying that the first one that we get on the channel, 3080 wise, we will send your way if you haven't located one before then. We will do our very best to help you recover from such a big oof. Yeah, there's an F in the chat for that. That sucks. Wow. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah, but still, he went up against the 3070 and the 3070 won. That's a bad investment. Yeah, that wow. Yeah, sorry, dude. Sorry. That's I I don't know. Your 3900X should not outperform his 5900X. I'm trying to think what could limit, what could cause that limiting on both sides, because his CPU and his GPU are dramatically, well, CPU. Wait, what did you get CPU score wise? 11 420. Wait a minute, really? Let me go back up. No, no, I just I'm going back to my score real quick. My CPU was 11 475. Say, sounds to me like you got a good chip. Damn. All right, so at this point, we're really just kind of biding our time until, yeah, I mean, it's a small sample pool. That's true. Yeah, go ahead and run another one real quick. Let's see what happens. We're still waiting on Vince to hop back in here anyway. Yep, I was just wondering. I was like, what did I just get a message of? But yeah, but you're overclocking your 3900X though, right? Your 11.4 something was stock? Wow. Uh, Basically file through both, but PayPal is going to be the one that enforces it. um, hey, Cap, check your messages. Just read the very bottom part, which you'll find very, very amusing. Sorry, ask that question again. I was lost in laughing at something stupid. Give me a sec. Let me switch over to you. There we go. I'm such a terrible listener. People texting me left and right. I'm a bad, bad host. Say all that for me again, because I'm an asshole. I can't read that. He's blurry as hell. Is he blurry as hell for anyone else? Has a front panel USB 3.2 Gen Type A port, but they should. Well, yeah, because Cyberpunk runs like shit on everything. Um, Go back to the board real quick. Yeah, show me the front of a O11. So I could walk out into my living room and just get one, but yep. And that's what it's going to be. Each cable, uh, each of each of the USB 3 style cables run two ports on one cable, one plug-in, I should say, and that board just doesn't have two of them. Now, you can get around that by you. There are internal cards for the machine that you can get to expand that, just like a USB 3 PCIe card. But if you don't need those ports, I wouldn't worry about it. Just pick the top ports or the bottom ports as the ones you want to work. the reality is that everything is slowly sliding over to USB-C anyway. So we'll all be upgrading our computers here sooner rather than later. Honestly, I wish they would have crammed it down our throats and just made us all eat USB-C because it's so much better than USB-A. Yeah, well, USB 4 is about to come out now because in reality, USB 3, well, USB-C, I should say, was such a crap standard that you could buy a USB-C cable that supported power delivery, didn't support power delivery, supported power delivery partially. So you could get anywhere from 5 watts of charging up to 100 watts of charging. Or you could get a cable that did 100 watts of charging but still ran USB 2 speeds for transfer or 3 or Thunderbolt or everything else. It was such a shit standard, it wasn't even funny. Um, it's a standard, but here's the problem. With that standard, people got to adhere to the parts that they wanted. Whereas if you want to be USB 4, you must hit all parts of the standard. One of the issues that I had a big problem with was in my last MacBook, if you were playing a game and it was plugged into the wall, you could use more power than the power brick could put in, so you could steadily lose battery power while playing a video game on a laptop that was plugged into the wall. That drove me up the wall actually, and I bitched and complained. Apple said no, that wasn't a thing, so I ordered 3 or 4 more MacBooks from B&H. Proved that every single one of them had this flaw. Ended up getting in touch with Apple engineers, and they eventually go, "Oh yeah, that's an issue with power delivery 2.0, blah 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 blah." And we talked about the standard for a while. In the end, they ended up eating the cost on all those MacBooks and taking them back. Uh huh. Yeah, we use well, her and I both use Macs as our primary machines throughout the day. We switch to PCs for gaming, but otherwise we actually run off of our MacBooks. Mine runs MacBook 16 into a Core X Chroma, running a RX 590, and it does my breakouts all my screens. And then, right there is her MacBook Air, which runs to, can you see it on the screen? Right there. No, right there. That's her Core X Chroma running to an RX 580 for the exact same reason that I do. We use it for breakout of screens and to offload video editing whenever we do it. I have no idea where Vince is. Vince still seems to be gone. I was hoping that we'd get him back before we ended the stream, especially since the whole stream was supposed to be based around doing that BIOS flash. Uh huh. What RAM did you order? Okay. Um, my recommendation to everybody would be order your RAM from Amazon. Make sure you buy Thermaltake's Tough RAM, and just hope that they goof up and give you crap tons of memory for free. Because I would order Thermaltake Tough RAM from Amazon. And the reason I say that is I ordered 16 gig kits, two of them, from Amazon. Um, Thermaltake Tough RAM, 3600 megahertz, 16 gig kit. So I would have had 32 gigs of RAM. They didn't send me that. Instead, they sent me that. And they didn't just send me that, they sent me two of that. Uh, 32 gig sticks. So, yes, I ordered 32 gigs. They sent me 128. Hey, Vince is back. And it looks like we've got a case with a supply, with a motherboard. Let's switch over. Ooh, what size is that screen? Yeah. Is that the wife? Well done, sir. Well done. Yep. Uh, hold on. I'm trying to. Oh, okay, up there. Sorry, didn't figure out where I was. I do see your cables going in, so you're good there. And then you've got your ATX over there, the 24 pin. No, no, other side. Right, right side. If I'm looking at this, no, hold on. Where the hell? Oh, I'm looking at that angle. Okay. So you've got the cable in over by your RAM, right? Okay. No, no, I can see your pins. I can see your pins up there. You need to get those plugged in, and it looks like you've got 12 and a tiny child right through that little slot, which was really cool. Um, so yeah, you need to get your 12 volt in. Yes, you want all 12 wires in there. So all three fours. Yep, yep, yep. 8? I just got, give me a sec. I just got a new power supply in that's supposed to have some impressive power. Let me see what that thing has. Let's see. Well, my Asus Strixes here are really just rebranded Seasonics, but as everybody would expect from me, um, I did get the new Thermaltake power supply in that they just came out with. And this thing is supposed to have like a bajillion ports. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Correct. Here we are doing a surprise unboxing. 850 watt. Yeah, I literally just opened this thing. This is the new, it's an 850 watt, but it's Thermaltake's brand new ARGB power supply. Ooh, look at the fan. And then we've got, the reason I got it is this thing has got a bunch of power on it. You've got 4 6-pin peripheral slash SATAs, 5 CPU slash PCIe's, and then you've got the 24-pin ATX. So this will handle your 3 cable video cards as well as your 12-pin. But look at all those frickin' ports. And then where the hell do you plug in? Oh, nifty. I didn't even notice that. I did. So see that little port right there? That's where you plug in your ARGB cable. You plug the ARGB in there, and that way your motherboard can control it. I don't know which one I'm going to like better, this one or the 850 that I've got plugged into it now, which is the IRGB as opposed to the ARGB. But I figured, why not get it since I'm in the holiday return period? I can take a look, see which one looks better, and I will send the other one back. Because Amazon doesn't care. Alrighty, so you should be just about ready to do this. Nope, handle that later. It's all dark on the screen. What's going on? All right, USB is in. All right, okay. Power into the back of the machine. Hybrid mode? Gonna have to look that one up myself. Usually they've got a little button back there for like zero fan movement without need, but let's see what. Yeah, it looks like what they call hybrid mode is nothing more than the typical zero, or it'll only use your fan when it reaches a certain load to cool it. Otherwise, it'll leave the fan off. It doesn't matter really, not for this case. Um, it's really a preference thing. Do you want your fan always spinning even if it doesn't need to? If so, leave it off. If you want it to turn the fan off and preserve lifespan of the fan when it's not in or not needed, turn it on. I personally leave mine on, or I leave my fan in no spin mode because I would rather it be not spinning if it doesn't have to. Yeah, it definitely, it's just like an engine. It takes more effort to start. It's easier to keep it running, but at the same time, you're also running out the bearings and the grease and everything else. So I believe that's off. USB or flip the switch first. I'd like to make sure that we are right. You should see. Here's the real telltale. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that, but as soon as you plug in the cable, if the switch is on, your Strix logo on the motherboard will light up just because it has power. I did hear that. Hey Elijah, you over there talking to that guy yet? Have you sorted out your return? And also remember to unmute because you always stay muted. Yep. Did you ever talk to the guy directly, or are you just going straight through the companies? Man, the performance on that is just abysmal. I'm really blown away. Think that's why you priced it so low? Damn. All right. It certainly could be. All right, so it looks like we've got power. All right, flip that switch. See, you've got lights. All right, put the USB in. All right, now here's what you want to do. You're going to keep an eye right there where that USB is. You're going to hold that button in the back for 3 seconds. You're not going to touch the front. It boots itself up off of that button in the back. You're going to hold that button for 3 seconds, and then you'll see a light inside of the I/O plate light up. It'll be a green one usually. When it starts lighting up, let go of the button and wait. Do nothing until that light stops blinking. If it goes solid, it failed. You need to get a new USB drive and try again. If it stops blinking, that means the BIOS successfully applied. Okay, get your flashlight real quick. Yeah, okay, don't get a flashlight. It's it's inside the I/O plate, okay? It's not a light on the outside. It'll be a very where you're at, it'll be the only green light that's blinking. That's not on the somewhere in the it's kind of hard to tell where there is, but it's right next to where your button is, and it's not your flash drive. So if you see something blinking that's not the flash drive, that's the correct light. It could be. I've never honestly looked at it. I remember when I did it in person. Press it, hold it for 3 seconds, you'll see what I mean. That one. Yeah, flashing is good. It takes somewhere between like 3 and 5 minutes. So we're going to be watching it flash for a little bit. Solid means it didn't work. Yep. Solid means it didn't work. Uh, Off means it did. So we get to sit here and watch in suspense. Ask questions. I have built in both the 11 and the XL. In fact, um, when we did the build with Alex, Alex and I ran up to Micro Center to get his case, and while we were there, he decided he wanted to go with the 11. And as a result, we looked at all the ones they had there, and they had the XL, they had the standard, they had the Razor. They had a good variety of them. But what we got a chance to do was, is we put the 11 damn, I can't speak. Put the 11 next to the 11 XL. Honestly, it's only like a inch and a half maybe wider. It's not much bigger, but what I will say is this. Having worked in them all, the XL is by far my more favored case for one reason. If you're going to do cable mod cables, you need every inch of space you can get in the back of that thing, which there isn't much. The XL has a little more room. Because doing just the 011 in the back, standard cables get to be a challenge. You get those thick cable mod cables, and you're going to be fighting it for days. Oh, looks like you went solid. Nope, it blinked. Or no, it went. Is it? I say it got a little choppy there. Yeah, I would recommend going with the XL. The XL is the better case in my mind. It's not much more width. Um, it's not much more width as far as footprint, but there's a lot more space inside that you will find use for. Come on, little lake, go out, stay out. Come on, finish up, little guy. It's out. It's out. Your BIOS is done. You can stick the CPU in, and that bitch will boot right up. I will caution you with this one last word of advice. You do not have a graphics card on that motherboard with that processor. So plugging a HDMI or DisplayPort cable into the motherboard, trying to hope that it will boot up, will result in failure. Put your video card in with it. That's what I'm saying. But initially, what we tried and what a couple other people I talked to tried was coming from the Intel world, where you almost always have a integrated graphics chip on the CPU. You can sit there and boot it up off the motherboard and plug straight in. In the case of this, you can't. So you have to have that video card in there. Otherwise, it's going to look like it's not working. Good. So with that said, you have a successfully flash BIOS. Yep, that's it. Your lights will go out in a couple seconds. There goes. Yep. Alrighty. Well, that is what we were waiting for. That was our big thing tonight. We did a BIOS flash. For some reason, well, you keep building, you keep doing that stuff. I am going to end the stream, if nothing else.